started when I was about probably 17, 18. I started doing some varmint hunting and calling because I really enjoyed that, and it was pretty cool. And I got really heavy into it. In fact, I ended up getting what they call the 100 Club, which is a ratio of animals that you have to get of 100 animals of predators.
Wow.
And that's the California. That was a California club. And so I did that, and then when I was about, I guess probably I'm going to guess and say 25, I decided that I needed to buy a house, so I had to sell everything that I had to get the house, just to make the down payment on it, you know. And so I did that. And then as I got older, when I was probably about probably 35, I started my own business, and that really kicked me back. Prior to that, the only thing that I had taken was I shot some deer. I used to get access to the Tejon Ranch, and I had some friends that had a piece of 640 acres inside the Tejon Ranch. So we used to go up there on the weekends and shoot deer all the time, and which was really great. But then after that, I had one trip when I was about 1978. I went up to with a friend of mine that was in the fish business with me, and we went up to British Columbia, and he got me a tag for an elk tag, and he had some friends that had an elk camp. So here we are. We roll in, and this is one of those stories, right? We roll into camp, and the guy says, "Well, it's just getting dark. Let's go out and take a look." And we went out, and here's this deer, and there was a bunch of guys. It was like 6 or 8 guys, and they're all cocktailing and having a good time, and you know, it was one of those evenings, you know. And all of a sudden, there's this elk standing on a ridge about 400 yards away, just looking at us like this, you know. And these guys all jumped out, and they started shooting and shooting and shooting, and nobody could hit anything. Oh my God. So I asked my buddy, I says, because I became a pretty good shot doing varmint hunting, because you had to be. And I says, "Well, can I shoot?" And he says, "Sure." And bam, I drop it. Well, the next day, this guy comes rolling into town. "Who's that ugly American killed my goddamn elk? We haven't killed one up here in 6 years." So I got tagged with the ugly American. But anyhow, that's kind of, and then I stopped hunting basically when I started my own business, and that took about everything I had, and I didn't really get back into it probably until I was about 45-ish, probably around there. And I used to go to I don't know if you've ever been to the sports show. I used to see this guy there. His name was Klaus Heinen, and he had out a Whitehorse in the Yukon. And I decided, well, I really wanted to do a full bag hunt, but anyway, I saved my money, and I waited a couple of years, and he was there every year, and every year I'd be in there and talk to him, and then eventually I bucked a hunt with him. And I said, well, I'd never done anything, so I'm like pure rookie, you know, and I'm going, I need the whole thing. I want the moose, I want the caribou, I want the bear, I want the big Dall sheep, you know, I wanted it all, you know, in 2 weeks. Oh my God. So anyway, I end up with, naturally, which is always the case, the 21-year-old guy that's got legs about that long, you know, but we had it was a horseback hunt in the one portion that we were doing, and this guy shows up, and he's got these ponies that he's Indian ponies, and they're so-called training the Indian how to be an outfitter, right? Which is a con, but that's what they were doing. But these horses had never been shod, and they had hoofs probably about this big around, and they were just raspy as hell because they just hadn't been ridden. Nobody had been riding them, and this Indian guy showed up in camp with them, right? So like, like the first morning, I hear this commotion outside, and I'm in my tent getting ready, you know, and everything. I keep hearing this commotion. I go outside. Here's this kid. He's got a moose paddle in his hand, and he's beating his horse with it, right? Because the horse bit him on his shoulder, and he had a big bite on his shoulder. You know, it was real deal. So I thought, man, this is interesting. So we go out, and this is the first day, and we go out and we go on to we're going across a beaver dam, and I'm behind this guy. All of a sudden, I see him go. The horse bucks him up, throws him up in the air about 6 feet, and right down, bam, right on his crouch. I says, that'll teach you. They always get back at you. But anyway, I did that hunt, and it didn't turn out as well as I'd like it to. But one of the reasons I was starting here is in the afternoon, one day I was sitting there eating lunch, and I'm looking across the canyon, and there's a couple of caribou, just beautiful caribou. Of course, I'd already shot mine because I was going to use them for bait, whatever the hell that was, right? And so I was looking at these beautiful caribou. And the next thing I see is this grizzly bear. And he goes up and he's going after him, you know, he's sneaking. Then they see him and he goes like that on the ground, and which was kind of cool. So I go, well, let's go. And he was headed down towards the willows. And I said, let's go. And so we had to go down the canyon, cross the creek, up on the other side. And we get up there. I'm floored now. I'm out of gas, and you know we're humping it, right? You know how you do. And the bear's in the willows now, but the kid says, I'm going to yell at him when he gets up, stands up. You shoot him. And I go, okay. So this bear, he yells at him. The bear stands up to look around, what's going on, and I pop him. And I get a good sound. Bear goes down. We wait for, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Go over there. No bear. I'm going, oh, shit. Exactly. And anyway, we couldn't find him. And it's getting ready to rain. And I'm going, oh, this is a mess. So we split up, and we were about, probably, we saw where he was laying down. And we started walking down this ridge into the willows. And all of a sudden this kid yells at me. He's over from maybe 30, 40 yards from me, I guess, something like that. And he yells at me, look out, here he comes. And I go, shit. And here I see these willows moving, coming right at me. And the willows moving, and the bear got within probably, and I'm ready for it. You know, thinking I'm ready for it, you know. And he got within probably about 20, 30 feet from me, and he either saw me, smelled me, or whatever, turned around and went down the canyon. So then we start trying to track him again, and of course it's raining by now, and trying to find a blood trail, which there wasn't. And I was in despair at this point, you know, that hey, I didn't get a chance to get this bear, and it was a beautiful grizzly, inland grizzly. So anyhow, we were looking and we couldn't find him. We were clear down by the creek, you know, in the bottom of this canyon, and the Indian had the horses, so he decided he'd bring the horses over to the other side where we were, which was cool, you know, so we didn't have to hike back. So he brought all the horses over. You know, and he says, so we're talking, and he says, well, did you see where he laid down back there? And I go, no, the other guy didn't. You know, and so we went back over there. And I walked over the ridge, and I looked, and laying in the middle of the stream was this bear dead.
Oh my God. Nice.
Wow.
So, and that bear, it's that rug that's over here on the wall.
Nice.
Oh, way cool.
And I didn't know what to do with it, so my first, you know, I didn't have a trophy room or anything. It was more like my really first big game animal. So I had a rug made out of it because it took up a lot of room on the wall, you know. And that bear was like 21 years old.
Wow.
It was a nice grizzly. Yeah, 21. Because they pull the tooth and they age them. So, but that was my first experience as an outfitted hunt. Was that, and then of course that I went from there. But
So did that turn you on even more?
Oh yeah, because one of the things that happened to me on the hunt, which I don't. Now we get into the ugly.
We like the ugly.
Yes,
one of
we
the
do.
things, one of the things that happened to me on the hunt was we went to a different site, and I had a doll sheep tag, and we flew into a different camp for the sheep, and we hiked. Start out in the dark, you know how you do, and you go up and you climb the mountain, and you want to get up on top of them. Yeah, you get up on top of them, and then you try to figure out a way to get at them. And here we are. He's got me. I got my legs wrapped around him, and we're scooting down this hill, you know. With he's got a tarp over him, you know, and over both of us, you know. And
Oh, because you look like a white
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was actually a green
green tarp.
green tarp. There was no cover at all. Absolutely no cover. And we worked our way to a big boulder. And so we get there, and we're about 400 yards away. Well, in those days, I thought it was hot shit. You know, I did. I
Oh,
was a
were you?
varmint hunter, and I
Like
practiced
bear.
and I practiced. And I thought, you know, hey, I can do this. He says, can you make that shot? It was 400 yards. I go, yeah, I can do that.
With
no
no
problem.
turret, nothing.
No problem. You know, I was shooting a 7mm mag, which I had hand loaded, and my mistake was I was using a 140 grain Spitzer, you know, and so what happened was I shot him all right. There was about 10 rams together, and they were all circled up. Anyway, I shot him. He gets up, and which was one of the first mistakes. He had me shoot him while I was laying down. And the doll sheep got up, and there was a blood splatter on his shoulder like this. And I thought, oh. He says, well, you're going to only shoot once, because he was scared I'd shoot some of the other rams or something, or the wrong one or anything. So I said, fine. So anyway, the ram got up, and it started to try to follow the other ones. Well, he actually did follow the other ones. He actually got stronger, and they went down the canyon and up the other side.
No way.
Yeah, and he was following the other ones.
Right.
And so we tracked it. And he says, "Oh, we'll get him in the morning." These sheep actually went right next to our camp. They went down the canyon and up the other side. We were probably, by the time we got up there, we were probably, 20, 30 yards from our tent.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so,
Felt sorry for you.
yeah. So anyway, he says, we'll go up. No problem. We'll get it in the morning. I said, okay. So I went to bed, and I was in, a sleeping bag, and I'm in one of those, a pup tent, because we're on a spike camp. And this is funny. Not funny.
Here we go.
I woke up the next morning, the tent's on my nose. And I go, uh-oh, and I pulled the flap open, and there's snow on the ground.
Oh.
And he says, the outfitter, he was a crusty old son of a bitch. And he looked at me, he says, you're done.
You're what? You're
You're
done.
done.
You're done.
Yeah, the hunt's over. Because you wouldn't be able to track them in the snow. Because it snowed that night and just flooded it. So, it just.
You're so close.
But that's still and so, of course, that became a challenge.
Right.
Yeah,
Now
now
you're-
game on.
I'm
It's
back.
revenge.
Book me for next year. I'm coming back and getting that son of a gun. And which I did. Not that sheep, but I got my sheep. And
Did you eat some of the meat?
yeah, I've always eaten.
I think that the doll sheep is the
Yeah.
finest meat I've ever had.
Yeah, well, most of the sheep are good. Most of the sheep are good. Yeah.
Even better than Tulio?
By far. It's sweet.
That's
But-
like Axis to me. Axis has got Axis.
So somebody said something about this bear, this California beautiful bear. I was up in Porterville, and in those days we could hunt them with dogs. So we got got an outfitter, Bill Sweetser. I don't know if you remember him, but he hooked me up with the guy, hound guys, and we're chasing bears, and we get this guy up a tree, and of course, again, I was hot stuff. I was new. I was using a 44 mag that I bought at the Safari Club fundraiser with the scope and the whole deal, all stainless out, and had the Safari Club logo on. I still got it. Still, Safari Club logo on the handle in ivory, and
Yeah.
it was nice. And I wanted to, hell, I was going to shoot him with a pistol. I'm hot stuff. So the guy says to me, he says, don't shoot him till we get the dogs picked up. I go, oh, okay. So I'm on this branch, or on this side of the hill, and there's a branch coming right at me where I'm at. These guys go to get the dogs, all right? The bear starts coming right at me.
Down the branch.
Yeah, down the branch. So I whipped out and shot him, dropped him right on those guys. They were pissed. but
It was you and the dogs.
yeah, my first when I was getting ready for that Yukon hunt, which would have been about 1989, okay, 88 or 89. That's how I met Walt Miller. I was at the range down there, and he came up to me, and he says, "Hey, you doing big game hunting and stuff?" And I go, "Oh yeah." He says, "Well, you ought to come over to our chapter and see what you think. And when you come back, you'll be my guest." I go, "Okay, sounded good to me." And I went to the first meeting, and I go, "Hey, these are my people."
No way.
These are my
so
people.
funny.
So,
That is cool.
but that's how. Then how long's that been?
Wow.
35 years.
Wow.
Over 35 years ago. So,
And we finally got him to speak for his first time ever.
Yep.
That's cool.
anyhow, is everybody getting enough food?
Man,
Oh
you're
my gosh. Enough.
It's wonderful.
Don't overdo it because there's more.
Would you like to
There's
try
more.
candy salmon?
No, I'm good. Thanks. I'm good.
What about the caviar? Would you like to have caviar? Yeah, would you like this one?
What is this?
It's the caviar Bellini.
No, it's too salty for me.
So is Todd our chef?
Yeah, Todd's he's got a guy helping him, but he's the chef, and we got a couple servers
He
and
did the menu?
got a bartender. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did the menu. I don't know. He'll probably tell you, but because he brags it up. But probably gets that from me, but I think he said there were 17 items.
Oh my. No way. No way. Really?
Yeah.
He is-
You're gonna like I say, you'll get a really smattering of.
So you guys
stuff.
paced yourself? There's 17 items.
On the dinner menu.
Well, it's it's hors d'oeuvres and
Herbs and everything.
hors d'oeuvres and dinner. Yeah,
Oh, I'm already getting full.
dinner's only got about 6 or 7.
One's a 42-ounce porterhouse.
I believe it's a prime rib. But I guess maybe from here we can go ahead and kind of walk around and look at some of the stuff. This one came from Romania, and they're kind of an interesting bird. You hunt them when it's just getting light. Before it gets light, you're right in the kind of the dark of it. But before it gets light, and you can hear them. So and they're up in the trees. They're up in pine trees. That's what they eat, is pine needles or pine cones, and you can hear them. So it's what you do is when he's squawking, you start moving. because when they squawk, it closes their eardrums, and they can't hear. So you scoot, but only for a few minutes, a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds at the most. Then you wait and listen for him. When he starts again, it's interesting.
So you shot it with a shotgun?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool.
Of course, everybody knows what this puppy is, muskox.
So how come you have two?
Pardon?
Two muskox?
One's Greenland, one's Barren Ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which one? You left.
Don't ask me which one's which.
No, I thought.
I'm to that point,
Was it the polar bear or the muskox that you left? Polar bear. You left after you got yours, right?
No, Chuck left after.
Chuck left after he got his.
Okay.
But he was in a different camp, and it was cold. I hold nothing against him. I would have done the same thing.
What are the awards behind you?
These are from European awards, the Oman Award, and that's, he's in that business, so that's his trophy kind of thing that you get presented in Europe for, depending on how many animals you get in European animals only.
That's beautiful.
So.
Now, in the book, there's a character named Dennis Anderson that is a
Not this book,
Oh, not that one?
The other one.
different book.
Okay,
The one that smokes the cigars?
yeah.
Yeah, that might have been me.
For writing.
This is what I call a forest scene, a rainforest or forest scene where it's got my bongo, it's got my yellowback diker, and there's some of the other animals that city tungas. This one actually doesn't belong here, but it's so unique. I had to figure out a place where I could show it off. This is a Gerenuk, and if you look at them, how long the neck is, and they eat trees, leaves out of trees. They don't forage on the ground. They eat, so they got to get up and eat. They got the long neck, and they're like a cross between an impala and a giraffe. But if you look in here, this little area here, I think there's 13 animals in here.
When you first decided to build it, who was your, did you design it? Did you have someone help you?
I hired a guy that was an architect to help do that and manage it at the same time, which was a mistake, but anyway, it's something I did.
How come?
Because it ended up costing me over twice what I was supposed to cost me. Got to the point to where we weren't happy with each other when I fired him.
So if you were going to do it today, if you were going to build a trophy room today, how would you start? How would you start? Would you hire a taxidermist who then would design your rooms? A contractor?
Well, I think a contractor would be your ticket, but the thing that I think that you should do is try to see as many other trophy rooms as you can. Get a concept in your head as to what you want to, what your end result has got to be, what you're trying to achieve.
Right.
Are you going to have different sections for different parts of the world? You're going to have, are you going to have dual shoulders and European mounts, or how much wall space are you going to take up? All those things. This thing grew from, originally I planned on putting it up where that small garage is you walk by, and I was going to do about 2,000 square feet, and then it got into well, why don't you build it down there? And that's how it started.
That's
So
awesome.
we ended up with about 5,000 square feet. So, anyhow, that's the damage. And again, it ended up costing me about twice what it should have. I have caissons, and I think I have 360 yards of concrete just in the foundation.
Wow.
At the time, there was some houses were sliding off the hills up in top of Anaheim there, and they just put the screws down on anything that was getting built. I don't know if you remember that, but
Yeah, my friends.
Yeah, yeah. And so they really got tough. They got, and then they got onto the height and, you know. Anyway, the guy told me, he says, if there's an earthquake, come over here.
Any special stories on any of these hunts?
Oh,
Stands out
gosh.
that you remember? I'm just saying, if you remember.
No, no,
that stands out,
it's interesting. I think every hunt is an adventure of some sort, one way or another, whether it's your travel, the country you're in, or the terrain you're in, or, I mean, everything's kind of special. And every animal usually is a special. If it's not, then it probably wasn't a very good hunt, you know, if it's not special. But yeah, this bongo I got in CAR, I don't remember what year it was. I could look it up, but I was hunting with a French guy, and we were in a machan that was about 40 or 50 feet off the ground in a tree. And you got up there, and there were wood slats for your ladder with a couple of nails into the tree. Yeah, and you got up there, and the thing was like this all the time.
Oh, gosh.
You know, because the wind would pick it up, and it just wasn't very sturdy. It was just a machan, you know.
Yeah.
And I hunted with a French guy, which I wanted to shoot when I was done also.
Where's his mouth?
He's in all that concrete.
How many trips to South Africa have you taken?
Pardon?
How many trips to South Africa have you taken?
Not that many. Probably 10.
10.
Yeah, probably 10.
That's South Africa, but what about Africa in general?
Oh, Africa in general is a whole different thing. Yeah. I've hunted. If I look back and I try to look at a map, there's countries I haven't hunted there, but I've hunted all the major stuff. I've hunted Uganda. I've hunted CAR. I've hunted Benin. I've hunted Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa. Where else?
Namibia? Did you hunt Namibia?
No, I never did hunt Namibia. No. But yeah, I've hit quite a few of the South African, some of them, or the African countries, some of them 2 or 3, 4 times. You know, probably one of my favorites is actually Botswana. Yeah. So, but yeah, Botswana is beautiful. Okavango, yes. And you wonder, what the hell is this thing eating? Because there's nothing there. It's crazy. But they survive. They're smaller, but yeah, that's what that is, a barren ground grizzly. Now the wolves are out of Alaska, but I needed to find a place to put them, so they kind of went together. But they really don't go together. Pardon?
You got them both on the same hunt?
Yeah.
No,
The wolves, yes. Mm-hmm. I was hunting brown bear up on the island there. Yeah, on the peninsula. But yeah, I was hunting brown bear and sitting there glassing one day, and here comes this wolf by me, and I popped him, and sitting there in the same spot the next day, another one came by, and so I shot him. You know. The two at the bottom, one's the one on the right is a Blandford Ural out of Pakistan. The smaller one is an Afghan Ural, which is I got up on the border of Afghan and Pakistan. So Afghanistan. So that's kind of an interesting story. The story to Pakistan. I hunted there with Alan Smith, and he and I were hunting together. We got stuck in a town called, I'm trying to think what the hell the name of it was. Not Karachi, but Quetta. We got stuck in Quetta. And the Taliban had basically taken over the area in Pakistan because they were all they were operating there to go into Afghanistan. But they started acting up, and they were blowing stuff up, and you couldn't get out of the airport. And Al and I spent 3 days in a safe house because we couldn't even go to a hotel. It was that bad. So.
And when was that? What year?
I'm going to say it's probably, I'll look it up. I'll tell you later. But I think it was probably 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, yeah.
Dennis, I remember we were at a meeting, chapter meeting,
Uh-huh.
and you came back and you told the story. So it has to be within the last
Okay.
15 years or so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was there, you told the story.
It was, well, it's kind of a funny story with the Pakistan one, because I was, you remember Larry the Cable Guy? Larry the Cable Guy was doing a show at the Safari Club, right? And when he's done with his show, he's got that fish hook in his hat and all that stuff, and signed and all that stuff. And Larry the Cable Guy throws it at me, and I catch it, right? So I got his hat. So the next day, I'm at a fundraiser for our SciPac fundraiser, okay? But we're doing HAF, so we could do more than, the 5,000 limit. And I says, okay, I'll sell this hat. Whoever bids on it last, you bid on it, you got to pay that amount. You got to be in. The next guy, he's got to be in. The next guy, if you bid yourself, you got to be in twice. And so anyway, we raised, I think I raised about $36,000. But the thing was that they came up to me, and Stan did, Atwood. I don't know if any of you guys know Stan. Stan came up to me. He says, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to buy the hat. You got to wear it when you go to Pakistan. And I says, for the club, I'll do it.
Now, when you were in Pakistan, did you wear traditional garb to blend in, or?
Only when I took one of the pictures. That was it, yeah. On the Afghan one, with one of the Afghans. I borrowed his little turban, or whatever the hell they call those things. Just for effect. Okay. Well, you can see the stuff on the walls. There's a lot of my deer. This is all European stuff over here. Stuff I got in Europe. Well, actually, not all of it. That one fallow deer came from the Double D Ranch in Texas. Dan's place. Yeah. He had me shoot it, and I couldn't pass it up.
There's one down there, tagged for her right now.
I got my name on one.
Yeah.
But then some of the stuff's from Texas down here, but most of the stuff is European.
What about up here, David? European? Wait.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are.
And that's a stag from England on the right bottom.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Those Pure Davids are strange deer.
Yeah. Started out, I needed to get a polar bear, on my bucket list. So I booked a hunt with Pokiak, an outfitter,
Brought you a
him
chair.
and his brother. Okay, so we booked a hunt to go up, and the hunt, Chuck was going to do his brother Bogey, and I was doing James, which is the actual outfitter. And so we booked it, and he wanted us there in January and February. Lo and behold, we didn't realize that was the coldest time that you hunt polar bears. And we got up there, and the weather was just absolutely freezing. I mean, we're talking 70 to 100 below with the wind blowing. It was brutal. And we had all the gear. We had everything. We about that northern outfitters, I think we about wiped them out buying all that stuff. So it was pretty interesting. But anyway, it was cold, and so we start out at LA. The plane's got mechanical troubles, and we get that fixed by jumping into another plane, because that one had to scratch. But we still caught our flight up in Yellowknife, and went on to up at Inuit. So we got up there and made contact with the pilot for the ski plane, because what we were doing was having the guy build the camp or run the camp in, because it took 2 days just by snow machine, and they had to sled the dogs in on the back of the snow machine because you had to hunt with dogs. That's the law. Not a lot of people break it, but we didn't. We were doing it the old-fashioned way with dog sleds. So they'd bring the dogs and everything in, and then we were going to meet them, and at a specific spot, and the pilot had all the coordination for it, and off we went. And we got this plane loaded to the gills, and he's got a belly pod, and we've got a seal in there, and I mean just all kinds of stuff. And the plane was just really loaded, and I was sitting in the front, and I had so much gear on and stuff that my knees were under my chin, you know. And Chuck was buried in the back; I couldn't even see him. But anyway, we're going. Yeah, it was a couple of hours, I guess, and I smell this smoke, this kind of the burnt oil smell. And I'm looking around, and I'm looking at the pilot, and he's looking around, and I'm going, okay. And so pretty soon he starts circling, you know, and he says, nobody's here. So he circles some more, and he's banking and circling. And then finally we see some lights out in front of us, and it's a kid on the snow machine coming towards us. And so we follow him where he's going, and there's the landing strip. They've marked it out with cans on the ice, because we're on the ice. Wow. And so he comes in, he lands the plane. I get out of the door, and I look, and the cowling from the prop to the tail was covered with oil. Completely covered with oil. It turned out that the guy blew the oil cooler, right, and dumped all the oil. And the engine was getting ready to seize. He was nervous as hell. He was trying to be cool about it. Yeah.
Wow.
So he had to leave us, and not leave us. Chuck left us. I stayed with the pilot, and he had to stay overnight and bring a new cooler in and stuff the next day, parts and all that kind of stuff. So I says, well, I'll stay with him, and Chuck went off with the bogey. And the next morning, the guy came in, and and we had the battery in the tent with us, right? And the next day he got in, they fixed it, they went to start it, wouldn't start, the battery's dead.
Oh no.
So they had to fly in. They flew in a cover and a heater and a new battery, just so they could get the damn plane started. It was so frozen up. I mean, that's how cold it was. It was.
So what was it? Like, what was it? How cold?
It was 70 to 100 below. Serious.
Dooley's thing about the polar bear, that's what he said too. It was like, it was the most miserable hunt he ever been on.
Yeah, when he hunted in the spring, and he hunted on a snow machine.
Yeah, snow machine, yeah.
Dooley's favorite part was when he wanted to tell everyone how you go out to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that was his favorite part.
He's right about. That's something you organize, you plan, it's that's serious stuff, because you can't, in those temperatures, you can't leave anything bare. I mean, anything bare. You'll get frostbite within minutes. It's that cold. It's crazy.
So you have to, if you have a little bladder, you're done. You can't.
You didn't drink a lot of liquids anyway. Didn't drink a lot. I was probably dehydrated most of the time, because I didn't want to drink any liquids, because it was such a hassle. Yeah. So anyway, about next day, I guess it was, or day after, we get a wire in on the radio, and Chuck's got his bear, and the bear came right into camp. You believe that? So he left, but he went back out by snow machine which took him a couple of days, and he bitched about that for weeks because it beat him up so bad. I mean, that's a hard ride because on that hard ice, it just
We
beats
had
you.
a chapter meeting a couple months ago where he told the story from Chuck's point of view. And he was like, yeah, I left my friend Dennis. And he's just sitting there. He goes, sorry. And then he was like, I left. Dennis goes, I would have left.
Yeah. But anyhow, I was happy for him, and I thought, wow, this is great, man. These bears are just all over the place, man. Gets one the first couple of nights, you know, and so anyway, I started hunting, and we hunted hard for a long time, and I ended up I was in about 19 or 20 days.
Oh my God.
And I was only supposed to be there 10 days. And that's what I paid for. And every night I tell this guy, I go, I can't come back. I just can't. I can't come back, you know. And I says, so I'd make a deal with him, you know, whatever it costs, get everybody on board, you know. We'll keep going. I just can't come back. And this went on every night. He made me gravel, you know. Went on every night in the tent because we were in a tent. It was 25 years old and it was as thin as your shirt. I mean, it was cold. I'd wake up and I'd have ice from my mustache all the way down to my belly. Oh yeah. It was
So do
cold.
you put your head, or are you
Underneath the blanket?
No, I can't sleep that way. I gotta have air.
Bags today are better.
Better, yeah.
I brought like 4.
For you?
Just sleep bags, Kuyu. I'd have brought 0. I brought 4. Just get inside. Like, what year was this? Because the gear could not have been as good as it is today.
Oh, I don't know. The gear was good. The only problem I had with any of my gear was my boots. After I'd walked on them a long time, because what happened is they kept twisting, and they didn't stay straight, and they'd twist inside my ankle would hit the side of them, and it got really painful, but I didn't have any choice. I was hiking, you know, on that ice. Because we'd pick a spot and start, a glassing, and then you'd have to go out and walk it, you know, to find it. So,
How are you changing your gear, your clothes? Are you just stay in the same clothes the whole time?
well, you do that in the tent, otherwise you don't do it at all.
Well, I mean, even in the tent, it's still a bazillion below. It's still freezing.
Are you going to ask if I was wearing the same long johns? I was.
Right? Like even like
Did he not change for 20 whatever days?
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He's
We're gonna kill a friggin' polar bear.
Hey, trust me, there was no bacteria living. No bacteria living. Absolutely not. But anyway, after the 19th day, I tell the story. We heard they knew there was a blizzard coming in, and so we knew that. But we went out anyway, and I was at one point I was on it might have been the day or two before. I was on one of these piles. We call them piles of snow, and not snow, of ice, and it stacks up. Is what it does, and it'll build hills and mountains, and I mean, you know, it just goes in different temperature depending on how much the wind pushes back in against the hard ice, and wherever it quits breaking, then it starts stacking it. And so we'd get up on those so you could see, because you could see for miles and miles. The air was so clear, it was fantastic. And the water, and you'd watch those icebergs going by, the current taking them, and it was just amazing. You know, the visuals were just amazing. And but at one point he had me get down off the pile, and it wasn't a few, I don't know, half hour later or whenever, I don't even remember, it went in the water. So anyhow, we decided at one point we needed to go back to the tent because we started seeing a lot of smoke, and you'd hear the crack of the ice, big cracks, you know, just really, I don't know how to explain them. They're just almost like an explosion, only it's a big crack. And
So
it's
melting?
no, the snow would be breaking. It'd breaking because the current would break it and the wind would break it, depending on which way the currents were going. Well, would break it because we were on the hard ice. There was water underneath us. You know what I mean? So, it's what you do is we'd hunt. We'd go out as close as we could to the open water, okay, and or sometimes we'd try to find a seal hole, air hole where the seals would come up, and see if we can get a seal to use for bait, but we never did. But anyhow, we started going back the one day, day 19 or 20, I forget which day it was. I think it was 19, and we heard these noises, and then I looked, and there was what they call black smoke, which is when the ice opens up and it hits that temperature of the water, it creates a mist that looks like smoke. And it actually looks like a brush fire burning. It's just a dark black smoke. And anyway, so we decided, he decided it was about noontime or so, and he says, well, we'll go back now. We should go back. And I thought, okay. So I'm in the sled, and the dogs are pulling, and we're going along, and all of a sudden he stops and puts the anchor out and comes over and says, we got a problem. And he says, I'm going to ask you to do something very dangerous. You had to understand how he talked. It was just like that. He talked just like that, you know. And I said, oh, no problem. You know me.
It's my 19th day. I'm an idiot.
So he gets me out of the sled, and we walk over, and there's this open break in the between us and the hard ice, and there's water running, but you can see, but there's like a dammed area where the chunks of boulders of ice stacked up and created kind of like a dam, a natural dam, because they couldn't flow any further, so they were stacked up. So he decided, not I, that we would cross there, and that we could get across. Well, this opening was 40 or 50 feet across. Okay, so I was going to have to go this way to my left and then jog to the right to get out. And we started to the left, and we got that far, and then we started to the right. And at some point, he yelled at me. He says, "Dennis, let go of the rope." You know, yelled loud to me, and I let go. And of course, I was bent over with all this gear on. I couldn't see where I was going. I was just trying to hold on the damn rope because those dogs were strong, and they were going to pull me down for sure. And so I'm holding onto the rope, and I let go of the rope and stood up, and there's the dogs going in the water right in front of me, you know. So it got my attention. So anyway, we manipulated, got through that one. Then we hit another one that was about, I don't know, 10 or 12 feet break, and we got across that one pretty good, pretty easy compared to the other one. But we ended up getting the dogs wet. But I was surprised. He took fresh snow and threw it on the dogs to stick on them, and it basically kind of insulated them. It was interesting. But anyway, so at that point, obviously, he says, "You're going home," and of course, I'm ready to go home too. And naturally, at that time, the blizzard hits. I'm stuck for 2 days in the tent. Oh. The guy can't come in and get me, you know, because the weather's so bad. So, anyway, yeah, it was quite the trip. So anyway, we're not finished. We're never finished, you know. So I make a deal with him to come back, And now we're going to come back. The season's over the end of May. So I leave some of my gear up there because I'm solid. I'm coming back regardless. And he says, well, I'll work you in somewhere. And I went back and it was probably, I don't know, must have been about the 15th of May or something like that. Now this trip, comparatively, you could wear shirt sleeves. It was cold, but it wasn't anywhere near as cold as it was in January and February. Not even close. No comparison. But the weather was different, and we started hunting again, and I was in 6 days, 7 days. And finally, we see this bear coming across, and he's working the open water. We're right next to the open water, and we're watching him. We're trying to figure out a way to get at him because it's all open. He'd see you in a minute. So we kind of get in a spot where we think he's going to cross, and he does. But the problem is he's about 250 yards off, which wasn't in my calculations. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking. I was shooting a 416. I had a custom 416 made by Brown Precision to hunt that for bears, just for bears, because I hadn't put a shorter barrel on it so I could swing it. But anyway, I took a shot and hit him, but he took off. It didn't even seem to faze him. But he was jumping and then finally, after I'd emptied my gun, he was going away, of course, all the time. But at one point, he made this lunge like this, and he ended up in a big pool of ice water, the guy. So he wasn't in the current. He was like in a pool that was on the ice. It was broken through, to pure salt water, but it was just a circle like a pool, and he fell in that. So that became interesting because just getting at him was crazy. So he had his son with him, helping him, and he says, "Well, we'll go out there and we should be okay." And so he takes the sled, which kind of is a boat and a sled. They're kind of like a little boat, little fiberglass boat that you get into, and so they're taking that and they're using that to steady themselves, and just in case the ice breaks or anything, just like you'd see in the movies, And they work their way out there, and so then the next thing I know, he's yelling at me, and he says, he's laying with his feet down. All I got is his back. How can I skin him? I'm going to have to skin him in the water. He's yelling all this at me. Of course, I'm not yelling like he was. But anyway, he says, I'll need to skin him in the water. And then pretty soon he says, I can't turn him over. I'm going to need to do a dorsal cut. He says, and I've never done it before.
Dude, just do it.
So exactly, I'm going, please. So he spent like 2.5 hours. And with bare hands. It's incredible what these people can do. With his bare hands, they skin this thing. Chunk it, piece at a time as they're skinning it. It was amazing. Because all they brought back was the hide and the skull. That was it. They brought it back. I stood in the same spot the whole time and watched them. I was so, just, the adrenaline was, and I was so excited. I was so excited. But I didn't even know at the time he was that big, So, and I took him into Yellowknife. I sent him to a guy in the Yellowknife. And he says, I've never mounted a bear like this before. It's been skinned this way. Because it's a dorsal cut. Normally they cut them in the middle. And he says, and then he says, and then I had to order a special mount for it because this bear is so big. And this guy mounts hundreds of bears, polar bears. Wow. And he says, that bear is so big, he says, I had to order a special mount and add to it. to make it. So it's a special bear. You know. Well, I don't know where the hell to start. You want to start behind me?
The elephant.
And you have to tell the story.
Elephant. I've actually.
Arrowhead.
Spear. Not everybody knows what's on them.
That there's not much of a story that goes with that. That was a gift to me from Hall, and he was he goes back. I had him donate a bunch of stuff to Safari Club before he passed away. All of his artwork and stuff, and we got about. I went up to he lived in Montana, and I went up there, and he had about. I think we ended up with about $240,000 worth of stuff that's after we sold it. For him so he used the money to buy HLF memberships for him and his wife. So one each, or I actually did it because he was passed. But that's where I put the money, was Hunter Legacy Fund. But that was a gift from him. When I went up there a couple of times to work with him on having the stuff donated, shipping it down. In fact, I had. In those days, I had Mary Lynn's United Band Lines move the stuff down because they had some bronzes and a bunch of stuff. You know how you do. Look around.
But those are elk ivory. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's really cool.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, wow.
But yeah, not much of a story.
So your elephant?
Somebody's really got it on for that elephant. I don't really have exciting stories. I've been charged by elephants a few times. I've gotten 3 elephants. My first elephant I shot in Zimbabwe, and it turned out that it was a disaster because we tracked for, I don't know, 7 or 8 days, and we had talking about hard of hearing. We got it. It was in the kind of late in the evening, getting dark, and we ran into some, and they started to leave, and I thought the guide said shoot.
Oops.
That's before I had hearing aids.
Should have been wearing battery ones.
I didn't have hearing aids at all in those days. I was really in bad shape. But anyway, I raked it, and it turned out it was a terrible hunt, and I spent about another week trying to find it. In fact, it was so bad that my outfitter, my professional hunter, left me.
What do you mean he left you?
He left me, and I had the trackers, and I had the assistant guy.
What do you mean he left? He just
He
left
had
the
another
hunt?
hunt going, so he says, I gotta go. And I says, I says, I gotta stay on this till I find this. And I hunted and hunted. And it's the elephant that's in the.
So you found it?
Yeah, and it's the elephant that's in the where the TV is. And,
So what day did you find it on?
well, to where it was no good, but the tusks, you could pull them out. You know, because of the heat. It
Right.
just, it was. The
When you guys stayed
vultures,
on it.
that's how we found it, was vultures.
And you knew it was mortally wounded.
I hoped it was, yeah. I mean, I know I hit it. And I was using a .416, and I thought, that's got to be good. That's got to be good. This elephant is not the real elephant. Those are fiberglass tusks. The actual tusks are these right here. And that elephant came out of Botswana. And I was able to take him probably at about 30 or 40 yards and make a brain shot, and it was over. You know, wasn't much to it. And then the next day I was able to shoot a hyena off of him. So very kind of. I love shooting hyenas. I don't know what it is about hyenas, but
That's
I
your
love
thing?
shooting. Yeah, I love shooting them.
Like the varmints.
I love that and baboons. But and then there's another elephant tusk down at the back of the room on the back wall. That I got in just recently, probably 2012 or 13, something like that, in Tanzania. And that one I was able to take with my 470 Nitro double.
Oh, perfect.
English double. And to me, that's the finest of hunting, is tracking your animal, catching up with it, and then being able to get in close and shoot it with a big English double. That's
How far were you?
That's a real deal. Probably about 20 yards.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah. And yeah, and that 470 Nitro is just, it's
devastating.
beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. I've done hippo and buffalo and elephant with it. It's just it's awesome. But yeah, I don't really have any exciting stories about my elephants.
So if you were gonna say, I mean, any of the animals, what one was not only the toughest, but like when you got the animal, you were like, oh my God, I'm so happy to.
Yeah, I do that with all my animals.
Me too, but I mean, there's like, for me,
Don't you?
Dennis, I'm like,
Oh my God.
you can count my animals on two hands, but like my doll sheep to me was my most proudest hunt that I ever went on. What was your one that you?
Well, obviously it's my polar bear. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, that I go without saying. And then there's some animals that I've hunted for, and you know, it's taken time to get them. You know, not get what you want when you want it, and all that kind of stuff.
What did you not get?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff I still want to hunt.
Yeah, but come on, there's got to be something in your head that you're like.
Oh,
okay.
probably the biggest thing is a giant eland out of Cameroon. Yeah, probably.
How many times did you go?
I didn't go once. I hunted giant eland, but I did it in CAR. I didn't go to Cameroon. And I went, when I was in CAR, it was they were having trouble with the Muslims, and it was a bad time, and it was just not a good place to be. But we managed to get through it and then get home. I was in CAR twice, or no, I was in Benin and then CAR. So, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look around.
So you have a lot of cats.
Yeah,
and we have one guy in our chapter that dedicated like 10 years to just killing cats. Remember the doctor that we,
Snyder?
No, it starts with a K. Anyways, I feel bad. I can't remember.
Well, I know who
Don. His name was
Yeah.
Don. And he went to kill all the cats, and he did it. He got worldwide. He got all the cats. But you have a lot of cats.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
I've got 4 leopards and 4 lions, but one of the lions is a female, which is the one with the red lechwe from Botswana, which is a gold medal lechwe I put in there just for fun. You find that most of mine don't have much hair because if you get them in a truly wild area, usually the thorn bushes and stuff, if they're active lions, they're pulling the hair right out of their heads. This one is, you look at them and you see the difference. That one is from CAR.
Wow.
in the brush. The big one in the middle, that was from Botswana. The one on the top is from Tanzania, and this is from Zimbabwe.
Look at the size of the paw.
The paws, yeah.
Yeah, they're big.
Like a hair.
Yeah. I didn't even really want to shoot him, but we bumped him, and we were going back into camp and bumped him, and I just couldn't. I couldn't say no. You know.
Now, do you have any hunts that were just, again, now, I know about the polar bear, but were just so miserable you would tell somebody don't do it?
Well, I don't know about don't do it, but because not everybody has a tough hunt. You know, you could go on the same hunt I do and same guide and have a wonderful hunt. And me, I could squeeze it out. I've always had, my problem has always been, my nemesis, it's always been brown bears. You know, big brown bears. I've always been looking for a big brown bear. And I've been on 9 brown bear hunts.
Oh, jeez.
Including Russia, which was a trip by itself. But I tell you a quick story about hunting brown bears and the kind of luck that I've had. I had a guide one time, and they dropped us off, and you know how they do it with a super cub, and they drop you, and then they bring the guide in, and you hook up your tents, and you know you hunt out of a spike camp. And I was the outfitter dropped me and this guide in, and I could see this guide had a problem going. He talked at night about his wife and the kid and all the problems he was having, and you know it was just going on and on all the time about you know the problems he was having. Why he probably should be home instead of doing this, and he worked as a salesman in a lumber yard or something in Anchorage, you know. And one night, and the guide told him, he says, you know, the outfitter told him, he says, now when you go out on this bluff that you're going to go out, he says, be sure you mark it. You know, you mark your trail, because it's hard to find. And so first day we go out, and we're up on this plateau, and we marked the trail, or he did, you know, flagged it. And we get up there, and we didn't see anything. So we started back, and it started getting dark. Pretty soon, he'd go to the flag, and then I'd go to the next one, or he'd go to the next one when I got up to the one that he was on. But it started getting dark, and it was getting cold and kind of foggy, and he said, I can't find the next one. And he couldn't find the next flag. And it started getting really scary, you know, because this guy was really upset. And he says, I know where it is, I'm busting out. And I go, oh. And he started running away from me. And I was just dying, just trying to keep up with him. We were going through the willow. You know, I don't know about the willows, and you guys are familiar with the willow bushes in Alaska in the fall, but you know, it's treacherous. I was sweating, it was raining, it was wet, and I was just soaked. And running through these bushes, just trying to, and I kept trying to say, slow down, you know, stop, let's think about this, let's talk about it. You know, I know where we're going, and he just kept running. Well, he ran until he got tired. And I finally caught up with him, and I says, what are you doing? I says, let's go right back to where we were, and we'll wait till tomorrow, and we'll get up and we'll find the flag. And so it's what we did is we went back and we found the flag. Of course, we didn't have any water. So I says, okay, you go down and get the damn water, and I'll stay up here and keep the light on so you can find your way back. And so he got us some water, so we had water to drink. Well, I was in such bad shape, I threw it up. And it was pretty scary. And because this guy was really in a panic. So the problem is that it was freezing cold. and we had no shelter at all. And it just so happened that I kept I'd always had kept space blankets in my backpack, and I had one that was a blanket, one that was like a bag. So I took the one, I stayed in my clothes, and got in the one that was a bag, and then I'd sleep on top of, try to sleep, and you didn't sleep because it got to where it hurt so bad you had to get up and change your position. But just trying to sleep on the ground in that bag until it got light enough to where we could go, and we're just sleeping on the ground. And we get back, we find the place. Well, what happened is there was a turn in there was like a loop, you know, and he kept going straight. And the flag was over here, you know, so he just missed the flag. So I think I slept the whole day next day because it snowed, and it just full out snow, and foggy, and you couldn't see anything, and so I was able to get some rest. But you know, that's the kind of things that happen, you know. And one of the things I learned is you always got to be prepared to take care of yourself, because sometimes things happen. You know, it's a different world out there in the hunting world. So,
Have any of you guys ever brought a space blanket before?
Ever what?
Brought yourself a space blanket?
I carry one with me, which I was very surprised that they're like this big, you guys.
yeah, I carried them for
It's
years.
like the size of your fist.
Yeah,
Put it in your stuff.
and they work. They work.
That's so crazy.
And the one I liked was the one I had, which was the bag, because I could get in it, and I could just double myself up and crawl to such a, you know, to where I just had my head out, and that was it. But it helped me. But the ground was so cold, just laying on. I kept my backpack. I'd have my chest on it, and then my hip and my butt was flat out on the ground, and that's where it was cold. And then your blood would get there and it'd start hurting, and then you had to move. So that made it difficult.
Did you get your bear?
But pardon?
Was it bear hunt?
Bear hunt, yeah.
Did you get the bear?
No. No. I've taken a couple of bears, but nothing I like. I just, you know, in fact, well, I shouldn't say I didn't get a bear. I did get a bear, but it wasn't there. It was on the other side, on the Pacific side, and they flew us in, and guy goes, "Oh yeah, that's a 10-foot bear, 10-foot bear," and I'm going, "You sure?" "Yeah, and it was the same guy. He wanted to get out of town, and he talked me into it, and shit, it was about an 8.5-foot bear, you know. So, but hey, you pull the trigger, you own it.
Right.
Yeah.
Get it with you, did he?
So, but
How about that deer?
that deer,
We were just talking about that, dude.
we were just talking about that. That is a fantastic deer.
That's an
I shot that up in Wyoming, at the
That's a
outside the Annex Bar. Yeah, it's not pen raised, but I shot it up there outside the fence there, because they have buffalo and elk up there at the Annex Bar. But
So symmetrical.
yeah, I was hunting with Jay Small up there, and you know, I had first shot, and this puppy came along, and he was all mine.
Really done.
He's a beautiful deer. Scored
why
one.
is
He
he
scored 198 when I scored him. He's right at the 200, but he's perfectly symmetrical, and it's a beautiful deer. It's a prize deer. I love it. That's one of my
A
special.
little bit wider, that guy would have been.
What's that?
If he would have been a little bit
2 inches
wider.
wider, he'd been,
He's super tall,
Yeah.
but
just a really cool deer.
Yeah, I like him.
Where'd you shoot your tar? Did you shoot it in New Zealand?
Oh, I've shot got out most of the tar.
Okay.
Oh, the tar. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was thinking of chamois. Yeah, New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah, we did it with helicopters.
Okay.
That was take you up in those mountains.
Yeah, that's,
It was.
Jason would like to know about a helicopter. He didn't know about a
I
helicopter.
didn't do
He
the
was
helicopter,
just
but I
there.
did mine.
He
Well,
about- he about
I'll tell
killed
you
himself.
what. They when I hunted the tar, And the chamois, but the tar especially is up in the higher elevation. It's where this guy was.
Yeah.
And it was the worst helicopter ride I ever been on. I thought I was gonna die for sure, because
She's always like, oh my God.
the wind was blowing, and that thing was just, it was like a cork. It just, and they were, actually, the other guys were supposed to fly behind me, and he wouldn't take anybody else out. It was
It was too
blowing that
bad,
bad.
yeah.
He just,
That's
it
what I would-
was terrible. But yeah, it's a unique way of hunting, and it's legal down in New Zealand, but
Yep.
wouldn't be legal here.
No, no.
But they make it easy on you.
We did ours from the ground and hiked up.
Okay.
In the rain, but it was super foggy, so it pushed them down.
Yeah.
But when we do the chamois, that's what he told us. He goes, it's all like the helicopter.
Yeah.
How many of those have you shot? The chamois?
How many's there? 4?
4? But I think there's a
5,
couple more up
6.
top there.
Well, that's what I was trying to count.
But that's
6?
all in New Zealand
6.
too?
I've got, it's what I've got is, no. I've got chamois in the Balkans and Slovakia and Spain.
Oh, I didn't know they were over there. That's very cool.
Yeah, Spain. I've got a couple from Spain, different ones. They have 2 different species of chamois in Spain.
Okay.
But yeah, all over. One of them in the Alps, I think. Yeah.
So these two are going to South Africa, as we were talking about at dinner. And so they were asking me what my thoughts were on the zebra. I said, I would probably pick a zebra almost over everything right now, because it makes a great rug. Bring it home. I mean, I've never I've never shot a sable. I shot a kudu. I shot an eland. I did not find it and paid for it. But my zebra, I love my zebra.
This zebra up here is a mountain zebra, and I took my grandsons over there to hunt, and I traded everything I had just for that one zebra.
Really?
Mountain
Yeah.
zebra.
Yeah. And then I've shot quite a few of the other ones, the ones that are kind of got the stripes are blended, got that gray look in between.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of them is. But, yeah, zebra's nice. Now I'm a sable guy myself. That's a
That's a great
That's
zebra.
a great, yeah.
that sable up there was, when I shot it, was the one on the top there was 47.5 inches, which was huge, because I shot him in Zimbabwe, and they traded it because they didn't have any permits to get a Inyala, a wild Inyala. So they traded me and gave me that, and we bumped it one day, a whole herd of them, and there he was. He was on the Zambia border, and just come across the river there, and they were bragging that up. The outfitter was bragging that up for a week.
Yeah.
But and then there's another one down below that came out of Zambia. Now you'll notice that there's two different sables there. Can you tell the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The coat. Like
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Yeah.
The reddish and the smaller sable is a Roosevelt sable. You can only get them in Tanzania in a very small geographic area. Yeah, you're talking too much.
So that elk down there on the far end, that's a Tahoe elk.
Oh, wow.
See,
What
I
did
thought
he
it was a
score,
Thule.
Dennis?
I thought that was a Thule elk.
This one's Thule on this.
On this
end.
side
Well,
here?
that's the
Yeah.
elk, the Tahoe elk.
Yeah, and then there's the Roosevelt in the middle and the Tahone.
Do you remember what he scored?
The Tahone one, I think it was around 380.
I see 3 in a row. Can we go right to
Roosevelt,
So the left
in the
one?
middle,
Those are the three.
Rocky
north.
Mountains on the right.
I wrote an article once because all three, it's the only place you can get them. All 3 of these deer came from these elk came from California.
It's super cool. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
They-
pretty interesting.
Meg, the one on the left is the Thule.
Thule on the far left.
Yeah.
Tahone in the middle.
Roosevelt, then Tahone's on the right.
Where did you get the Thule?
No, that's the Thule. I'm not looking right.
Thule should be on the bottom, right?
Thule's on-
The Thule's on the bottom.
Oh, I thought you said the middle.
I did. I was wrong. The the Thule's the one.
Laser pointer.
Yeah, the Thule's the smallest one.
Yeah.
I got him. I drew a tag for him.
So think about Kyle's.
Where'd you get him at?
Up Owens Valley.
Owen?
Yeah, and it was really hard to get a good Thule because they break them. You know, especially up there.
Well, yeah.
It's like impossible to find one that's not broken.
We have them on our place, and they don't grow.
We have,
They don't grow that big.
we have,
I mean, that would be a big one on our place, because they just don't get the nutrition that they need to grow.
Greg, we have,
Dennis, how'd you get that tag?
I'm trying to think which one
The Thule.
I put in for it.
Drew,
Yeah.
Kyle drew. Andy's
I'm trying to think. I might have bought it.
no way.
I might have
Bought
bought
it.
it on auction.
Andy's brother drew it with the share program,
I've been putting
and
in
it
for-
cost him
since I moved
$650.
here.
Yeah, that's good.
For a Thule?
Yeah, I
And
think
Lisa was the
I
guy who
drew.
brought alcohol for 8 days, and we brought food for 8 days. We get in the cabin the night before. It's in Monterey County, I think it was, and we get. Well, this is like just not that long ago, and we're in the cabin in the middle of the night, and first I feel this
Oh my God, yeah.
mouse. And they're tell us they're gonna make this a VRBO. So Kyle and I, he's in the other room, and I'm laying in the bed, and
Oh.
mouse, and then
Megan would have lost it, like,
No, thank you.
so I was like, all right, we're not getting a lot of sleep tonight. And then we hear this boom, like, and we go out. I think it was a cat smashing into the door, chasing a mouse. Because when I got up and looked out, there was a cat running away. That's the only thing I can think of.
The belly like this.
Yeah, so then like the whole night we're both, you know, it's like, did you hear that? I'm like, yes. You want to sleep in the car? No, we don't have any more hours. We're fine. You know, then
Megan
it
would
was
have.
horrible. So he kills it the next day. I'm like, Kyle, that's a really good elk. We should, I mean, it's like really got a lot of mass. He kills it. It's 90. We're skinning it out, throwing it in ice chest, packing it in ice, opening the drain thing. We got 2 ice chests on the back rack, going down the 5 freeway with blood dripping all the way down the 5 freeway. We stopped like 2 hours in, lift it up, pack on more ice, keep going. We get to Tahone, and our buddy worked for Tahone, so he hung it in our freezer or cooler for us to cool it down. But it was like, oh my God, seriously. We had 8 days worth of alcohol. We're like, all right, let's go to our ranch. We'll drink and eat.
Won't go to waste, huh?
You do 6 days.
Yeah, one of these elk is from Arizona, and one of them's from Tahone.
You said the one on the far right was Tahone.
Is it the biggest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, then
Looks
it's
like
that one. And then the other one would be from Arizona. And the one on this closest to me would be from is Roosevelt.
Those Thules are getting a lot bigger. Like, we have them on our ranch where we hunt in Paso, and they're 370.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
big.
Thule
Yeah,
or 370.
Yeah, Babe, did you bring that shed home? The shed, we have a shed at the house. We have a shed at the house it's broke off, but the mass on it at the base is this big.
Wow.
around. It is a
The ones on Grizzly Island
oh yeah.
are massive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's their natural habitat.
they get them over 400 up there, don't they?
But there's
they're
so
like-
many now. This guy where we were, he said they raised organic pigs. And so I was like, okay, well, but what's an organic pig? Well, we take our domesticated pig, and the wild pigs come in and we trap them, and then we breed them with ours. So they're organic.
Oh
Like,
my
what?
God.
That's the way to go. And then they had cattle, and the elk were competing with the food for the cattle.
Yeah, that's the problem with where
So
the
this
ranch
guy
we're
was
on.
totally peeved off, and he was like, we get 3 tags. They get a bull and 2 cow tags a year. And he's like, we have 400 elk on our property. Oh my God.
Wow.
He said, I can't run my operation. So,
No.
but fishing game's like,
They have no, yeah.
They're bumping up the tags this.
Quick story on the leopard. My first leopard hunt, I was with Jim Gross. I think I talked about it earlier. And I hunted every night. And I was shooting baits and hanging baits and hunting every night, sitting in a blind. It was a 15-day hunt, 14 days of them I was in a blind at night, even right up to the last day I was leaving. And the last day I was leaving, we had this really good area, and it looked like it was going to be, really, I was anxious, but I was so stressed from doing this hunt every day, And we get in the blind, and we're up looking down into a riverbed, but it's a shallow width, deep, and the sides are deep on it, but sandy bottom. And I'm sitting in the blind, and it's getting late. I'm tired, and I've been hunting for 14 days, right? And guy goes, down there, it's ready. Something's in it. It's on the bait. I go, wow. I get all ready. I'm laid out, man. I'm ready to go. He says, "You ready to shoot? When I turn the light on, you shoot." He flips the light on. Ah! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! It's one of the blacks. No! And he's stripping the meat off the.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of the night in the dark.
Oh my God.
no way.
Yeah, true story. I almost shot him.
I've never heard that before.
Oh yeah, he
He was hungry.
He was hungry, and then we just hung that bait that day, and he was in there.
Would you have to pay for him if you
I don't know. I think in those days I'd have got away with it. Yeah. Yeah, that was in about '89. Yeah. Well. Wow. They were still smarting from the Rhodesia deal, especially these guys, because they were fighting it. So.
When we went to South Africa, our very first day, we're in the truck on the high seat. We're driving out, and the guy goes, "Hey, so rhino poaching is a really big deal. We have a lot of rhinos on our property. So if you see a poacher, are you willing to shoot it? Shoot the poacher." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Are you willing to shoot a poacher?" I go, "No, I'm not going to shoot a poacher. I go, I'll be in jail for the rest of my life." He's like, no. Like, I don't have a gun. So I need you to shoot the poacher. If we see a helicopter coming in, can you shoot the helicopter down? I'm like, where the hell are we? And he was dead serious.
Yeah. We used to shoot the poachers.
Africa.
We used to shoot the poachers' dogs, because they use those dogs to run them and snare them. So if you saw a stray dog out there, you'd shoot them. We'd shoot them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious about, is that a dwarf horse buffalo?
No.
What,
Western buff.
oh, that's the western?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No. He's out of Benin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a neat looking animal.
It's cool looking.
Yeah. I only had a serious charge from a buffalo, what I call a serious charge, one time, and that was when I was first hunting. Maybe I'd been over a couple, 2-3 years. I was hunting lion, and I needed some bait, so we were going to shoot a cow, and so there's a whole herd going across the road. I jump out and shoot this damn cow, and I made a bad shot. hit it low in the shoulder, and so we went to track it, and so we were on the tracking, and there's like 3 of us, the professional hunter, and the tracker, and me, 3 of us with guns, right, going after this, tracking this buffalo that's wounded. And as what had happened was, as we're tracking him, you know, down the track, she made a loop, came back, and when we got here, she came out right at us.
No way.
And she wasn't probably from here to the bench over there
Wow.
from us. And you got 3 people firing. I think the tracker took credit for it. Yeah, that was quite an
But you needed bait, so you got her.
Oh yeah, I ended up with the bait. Didn't do any good. I didn't get a lion, but you know, that was another place I was sleeping on the ground. I didn't like sleeping on the ground too much in Africa because everything bites you, you know, or you know, sticks you. One of the two. I mean, and those snakes there, especially those mambas, are really hair raising. You know, so. I've had them actually charge the truck,
Really?
you know, the vehicle. Yeah, come right at you. Come right at you. And just, they're so aggressive, unbelievably aggressive. Yeah, mambas are, yeah.
They've got 4 leopards, you said?
Huh?
You said you have 4 leopards?
Yeah.
Were they all over bait, or did you ever do one with dogs, or?
No, all bait, all bait. Actually, one was a drive-by. Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was, well, it's
A
true.
drive-by leopard?
Yeah, we were going back into camp at night, and it wasn't dark yet. But that was in where the hell was I? That was Tanzania. We were going back into camp, and the damn thing ran across the road in front of me. Oh, in fact, I have 2 of them that are drive-bys. The one in Botswana. In fact, Chuck still jibes me about it. The year before we went to Botswana, I had hunted. I got hunted Zimbabwe, and I got this leopard here, the big leopard here, and it was a beautiful, beautiful leopard. So when we went to Botswana, I says, "Hey, he only had 1 tag for leopard." And I says, "Well, shit, I don't need one. Chuck, you get the leopard. You know, go ahead and take it." First day out of camp, 9 o'clock in the morning, a leopard goes across in front of me. I had to shoot it.
Is that in Chuck's trophy room?
No, it's here. It's here. But yeah, and that's the same thing that happened in the Tanzania one. And that's Zambia up there, and I got him over bait, yeah, at night.
This is funny.
So, I've never hunted them with dogs, but I think that'd be kind of cool.
Now, I know there's one time I was watching the Sportsman's Channel, and all of a sudden there was your smiling face on I think it was a caribou hunting trip.
With our buddy.
Yeah, I forgot who it was with, but so, have you done more than the one TV show?
I might be on a couple with Alan. I'm not sure. He does that X, you know. But Jim, I hunted with him. We that was a helicopter hunt, and this kid that was flying this helicopter was I think it was what they call a Bell 500, and this thing was fast. And we're up in Canada, Quebec, and they were migrating. The caribou migrate, so you try and get in front of them, and you can sit there and you'll see 5,000 caribou. I mean, literally, just one after. I don't know, you know. No, I'm serious.
For 2.
I'm serious. And this guy flew us right in, and set us up. Well, I shot a caribou, and Jim shot a caribou, and then I said, he talked me into it. I said, oh, shoot one with black powder. So, which I thought was kind of cool. And I go, okay,
that is
because
really
he's a black powder guy. And so I shot one with the black powder. So I actually shot two caribou with him on that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is it difficult to hunt with a camera with you the whole time? Do you have to wait for just the right angle and the shots?
Yeah, it's different. You know, I'm not real big on cameras because usually when it's time to shoot, the camera guy's got his camera off and it's too late.
Eat a sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I had a guy hunting with me one year, and I think it was, I don't remember if it was buffalo or what it was, but we hunted and finally get a buffalo, and he didn't even get it on camera. Didn't even get the shot on camera. And I was just devastated because it was really, you know.
But let me interject. We went to Mexico for a hunt, and the guy had those glasses with the video camera on it. And
Uh-huh.
he said they were amazing. He didn't happen to be in the hunt when he got one, but you have to be there to be present, right? But he just hits the button on his lenses, and it's videoing whatever
That's
he sees.
way cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so you don't have to, you get to visualize it, and you get, it's amazing.
Well, I think a lot of them now these days are using GoPro too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is easy because it's already on your sunglasses.
What-
You just click it.
Lisa, what's Ryan used? Do you know? With his? What's Ryan used? White bone.
He uses a regular camera.
Regular camera.
But he uses GoPro too. I mean,
Does
he
he?
does Ryan Olson, you know, the guy Whitebone
Whitebone?
Creations. He's
Yeah,
come
yeah.
and spoke to us about,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
He's freaking awesome
I
about like
always call
videotaping
that
your
squirting.
hunts.
Yeah. He'll go and video your hunt. You have to pay for him to go, but he'll video your whole hunt.
Yeah, most of my luck has been, or most of my bad luck, I guess is a better word, has been with some of the camera guys in Africa. You know,
Yeah.
but I don't do it much anymore. I did it when I took the grandkids about 4 years ago maybe. There was 3 of them, and I took them on a hunt to South Africa, and I bought it at Safari Club, and it was for 4 people, and it included a bunch of plains game animals, you know, and I took them, and it was I think it was a 10-day hunt, maybe, something like that, and I had it filmed, and the guys did a really good job.
That's cool.
And then I hunted one time with Dooley.
Are you dead?
With Dooley. And his
I'd love
wife.
to hear about that one.
And his wife, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
She was a freaking Chris, his
Yeah.
first wife.
Yeah. Wasn't that
No.
her name? Chris?
No.
No, what was her name?
Um,
No, it wasn't Chris.
I'll get it.
Hold on.
Pat and
Are you talking about the Dooley?
his first wife.
Yes. Hold on.
Edit.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's going.
No, she came here. She was going to fight the antis out front.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was mad at the Artemis tank thing, remember? Because she thought the bullets weren't going well.
Yeah. That's because she sent them there.
She was a character, but anyway, I hunted with her and Pat for ground squirrels.
Oh my God.
You know,
Where?
up in Colorado. Went up there. I think he goes up there every year.
Cindy. Yes, Cindy.
Cindy, you're right.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. You're right. I was close, Chris. Kind of
You
both
were.
things.
You were really close.
So we see, Dennis, that you have pictures with quite a few politicians. the Bushes, and you also have Stormin Norman.
I got my Trumps inside the house.
Awesome.
I'm still cherishing them.
Now, how did you get the opportunity to be able to meet them and all that? Just through SCI?
SCI, I've been very active, and then I'm active with my local congressmen and stuff,
Okay.
and so yeah. But I mainly SCI, very active in the political arena of SCI.
Sure.
Yeah, because you know they do a lot of good work.
Right.
So, but yeah, Storm and Norman. We were just talking about him at dinner. He's a fantastic man. He was fantastic.
Have you been to the new center in San Antonio yet?
No,
That's what I wondered. I wondered how it was. Yeah.
no,
In
I hear
DC
it's
or
really
San-
good.
where are you
I
saying?
just haven't
San
been.
Antonio, the new one in San Antonio.
Oh. Yeah, I raised at the HAF luncheon in Nashville this year actually, last convention, raised about $150,000 for a Hunter Action
Dennis,
Fund.
why did they
Because
move
I get guys with me and I say, if you want to sit with us, you got to pay so much, and I put the arm on them. I'm good at that.
Why did they move it from Arizona to? Why did they move the?
Oh, Arizona's like the end of the world, man.
What?
It's like the end of the world. Seriously, you ever tried to go to Tucson?
No, I only went there one time because I was going on a hunt and we had our pre-thing at the museum.
Well, we had number one, there's 100 reasons why. When I first got into, in fact, that's one of the things Craig Kaufman was talking about. When he and I met, I had been selected to chair the real estate committee for Safari Club. And one of my charges was to get rid of Tucson. Okay?
How long ago was that though?
I'm going to tell you, it was 20 over 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And
I've been to Tucson, I strongly support that.
How many people here have been there? It was awesome.
I've never been.
well, the design of the building was terrible. The architecture was just terrible. They couldn't add to it because the city wouldn't let them. We couldn't make any money off the museum. It was a loser. Okay, even though we had a fantastic museum, who goes to Tucson?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that was a problem. And the thing's just a drain. And we kind of decided several years ago to get out of the real estate business. So we basically put that in a position. We ended up almost giving the thing away. They bulldozed it. I mean, that's how pathetic it was. It just, it had no value. And trying to get people to work, nobody wanted to work down there, you know.
And what about Washington D.C., the new headquarters? That's
that's another kind of subject, but
It's a little fresh, we can't talk about that.
well, the foundation owned the building.
Oh, okay.
We wanted to sell it from the foundation side. The SCI side didn't want to sell it, which all they had to do was say no, but they didn't say no. They let them sell it, so they bought it from them.
Oh my gosh.
So SCI bought the building from the foundation. Yeah, I know, it's kind of a problem, but anyway, that's done. And then we've sold the Alls Ranch too.
right.
Yeah,
That was a bummer.
yeah, but again, it was just a drain.
Yeah.
It was just a drain.
They
So-
probably sold it for a lot. Because they sold it just
7.5, maybe 7.5
I
million.
said they probably sold it for a lot.
Which,
Alls.
Granite Ranch.
I went there. I was there I went and worked it once.
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it. I always supported it, but hey, you got to move forward. And San Antonio is a lot better place. Texas is a lot better place. You can draw people, and you know we don't have a big nut to crack, and you know it's a lot better.
So Dennis, you started hunting at a later age in life, to really get serious. How is it that you decided, you know, I think I want to be on the board of a national hunting club and be the president? I mean, that's like a big commitment.
Yeah, it
All your
was.
other
It
things
was,
like
and
your work and
I wish I had an answer for you. I don't know. I started out at the chapter, and it was, you know, chapter treasurer, and Then I worked my way up to chapter president, and then is what happened was, it's kind of a funny story, but at the time, we had a regional rep that wasn't doing his job. I won't mention his name because we're on TV.
We have another one that doesn't do his job.
Exactly, you do. But he wasn't doing his
We have another
job.
regional rep that doesn't do his job.
For like 10 years.
So I was the chapter president of Orange County, and I says, this guy's got to go. You know, that's it. He's not doing anything for us, and he's just, you know, he's got his name on the board, but he's nothing. So we got rid of him. I got Mike Rogers Sr. to take his place. Okay, so Mike takes his place. Well, then when Mike wants to move up to the up the chain of command at Safari Club, he reaches out and he says, "You can be regional rep now."
Oh, very nice.
Says, "You owe me, you know." So I was regional rep for 7 or 8 years, and which was fine. And then I ran for the big board, as they call it, and executive committee, and I think I got to be an alternate or something like that. Then the next year, I got to be a vice president, and then I ran as treasurer, and up the ladder, president-elect, president, and then out.
We're about ready to have elections.
We're looking for
Orange
new board
County
members.
is going to have
Yeah.
elections.
These goddamn hearing aids don't work for the shit, you know?
We got 2 new candidates over there.
Cut the mic, maybe this guy.
Well, I think you're looking at our next president right there.
No, she doesn't want to do
She
it.
is great.
She's
She
ready.
doesn't want to do it.
She is ready for it.
She's ready.
Lots of practice on
She's
it.
ready.
Yeah. Pretty great at it.
Now, by being on the board and being the president, did that give you opportunities that you wouldn't have had otherwise?
Dennis, did you hear Tom?
No, he didn't.
He didn't hear
Say it
us.
again.
So by being president or being on the board, did that give you opportunities to go places or do things that you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise?
That I wouldn't have wanted to do otherwise.
But no, you,
One of the things that I'm a true believer in Safari Club, which is different than a lot of Safari Club members. And one of the things that I did, which was different, I never turned in an expense in all the time I was with Safari Club, not once. I wouldn't even know what an expense account looked like, you know, which is all well and good, and I don't require anybody else to do it or anything like that. It's just that I was a true believer. So, but I'd have to jump on a plane and go to New York. I had one deal where they says, "Oh, we're going to make this president. This is my top one. We want to give a presentation pin to the life member pin to the president of Azerbaijan. You need to go there and be there this week.
oh, jeez.
$14,000 ticket. Swear to God.
He didn't charge you, you paid it.
Pardon?
He paid. She said you paid it.
Yeah, I paid it. Yeah. So, but back to your question, yeah, you get to do things. I did a presentation at a dinner, big dinner, black tie dinner deal in Spain, you know, and then went down to Barcelona to a show that was down there, it's a Safari Club show, but you know, stuff like that. But yeah, you get some exposure, you get to do some stuff that you like, and everybody treats you good. But I always made sure I didn't get anything. I tried not to do too much, because you don't want people to think, oh, well, he's doing that because he's getting a free hunt. Yeah, I needed a free hunt like a hole in the head.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted my own hunts. You know, people offer you stuff, but I'd only always pay for my own hunts. I never took a free hunt the whole time I was at Safari Club.
And you're
Ever.
not supposed to.
No, you're not.
Right.
You're not. It's unethical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Well,
So.
that would be like our politicians in the United States.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's a problem. We do have that problem in Safari Club.
Yeah, we
There,
do
there
have that
are
problem.
people that aren't in it for the
We
right
had that
reasons.
problem a little bit in our chapter, and we put a squash on it.
Yeah, no, well,
I was telling our friends here that your bronze, to be able to get it into the building,
Oh,
you had
that's
to
a
do
cool
something
story.
special.
okay.
Yeah, tell them that.
That bronze.
That's super cool.
That bronze, I was building the trophy room. And I'm at Safari Club, of course. And I go, God, that thing would look good in my trophy room. So I thought, well, maybe I can make this work. So I talked to Mary Lynn and Dave, and I says, will you haul this, we're up in Reno. So will you haul this back home for me? Yeah, we can do that. Okay. So I buy it, you know, because nobody was standing in line to buy it at the Safari Club. I forget even what I paid for it. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like overpaid. Let's put it that way. So then I get it down here, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get it downstairs? So I had to hire a guy with a what do you call it? Crane? Yeah, crane stinger or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was still building the place. So they dropped it in from the yard, stuck it down here, and I had it on plywood. And so as they built the place, we moved it around till we got it built. That thing weighed 750 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is a super cool.
You're not carrying that down.
And nobody's stealing it either.
No.
Yeah.
No one's carrying it.
Well, it's like these tiles. My wife had them. She picked them out. She's a color coordinator. I'm colorblind, so she's a color coordinator. So she picked these out. They're 4x4, and I think they weigh 120 pounds each.
Wow.
And she had them cut in
Good
Italy.
story. That's a good part of the story.
Yeah, she had them cut in Italy, and shipped over here. And the guys laid all these tiles. You know, I mean, can you imagine handling that?
No.
Basically, they were handling it with suction cups. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah. And they did an awesome job.
Great piece. Look at that.
Yeah. Did you buy that at Safari Club as well? The table?
Absolutely,
Yeah, I was like, yep.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
With the trees, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I liked it. It's called the water hole.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, should we let Dennis go to bed?
Yes.
No?
No.
Yeah. We got,
Dennis,
I want to know about a sheep.
you want some more?
We still need our group photo.
Okay, the sheep.
Our photo.
He's got, oh, sheep, sorry.
Sheep
Story and then photo.
Okay, the top sheep's a doll sheep out of the Yukon. The one below it, on the right-hand side in the middle, that's a stone sheep from British Columbia. And the bottom one under that is a desert sheep from Mexico. Those are your three. And then the three on the left side, all three of these are all bighorn sheep. The one at the top is from Wyoming. The one on the second one is from Colorado. And this one on the bottom here that's freestanding is from Montana.
Okay, and the funny looking sheep in the middle?
The javelina.
Just saying, it's all on the sheep side.
I have the triple slam, which is that they have at Grand Slam always. And the triple slam is 12 Capra
Right.
and 12 Ovis, which Ovis is a sheep, and which you got to have the Grand Slam, of course. But it's 12 and 12 to get the triple slam and your Grand Slam. So you got to have the slam on all 12 of them. So
That's incredible.
it's not easy to get, I'll tell
No.
you.
Your
When you
moves.
start out hunting, do you think of like what the goal and the award is, or do you just think what you
like and what you want, or do you think, oh, I want this?
Well, I think you do both. You know, but if you start getting into the record book and the awards program for Safari Club, you know, there's a list and there's a bucket and you got to fill it. You know, so there's a lot of times you're hunting stuff you really didn't want. You wouldn't hunt it normally. In fact, when I first went to Africa, I used to pass stuff and go, I'm not shooting that little dink. You know.
Wait, let him get his hat on.
Are you guys putting your hats on?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, we're not, but
I'm wearing this all the time.
Yeah.
It's my new inspiration.
I'm wearing it in Nashville.
I just let you.